What's up, Ragin Nation? How y'all doing? This is Alex. You watching the Ragin Ronin review. Got a review for you. Yesterday I saw Kick-Ass 2. Kick-Ass 2 is of course the sequel to 2010's Kick-Ass. And Kick-Ass, directed by Matthew Vaughn, was one of my top 3 favorite films of 2010. I loved it that much. It was that good and it was awesome. It was pleasantly surprising. I didn't know what to expect and I absolutely loved it. And it was mainly because of Hit Girl. Not because of the title character Kick-Ass, but Hit Girl. It was a Hit Girl movie and you have this 9 or 10-year-old girl and she's delivering all this dialogue and physical acts that would normally be performed by an adult, and that was the big thing going about the movie. That was what made the movie so charming and entertaining. She was so much fun to watch. And now you have Kick-Ass 2. And this time it's no longer directed by Matthew Vaughn. It's directed by Jeff Wadlow. And I felt that since Matthew Vaughn isn't directing it, whoever's directing it or directing the sequel is going to have a huge undertaking. He's got a lot to live up to because Kick-Ass was so awesome. I just felt there was no way that Jeff Wadlow could make it better than the first one. So I felt that the only thing he could do is make it different. Now, I felt that the first one was about justice, okay? Now, the second one, it's no longer about justice, it's about revenge. So we got a totally different story going on here, and I like that they did that. In fact, this is what made Kick-Ass 2 good. There, I said it. I said Kick-Ass 2 was good, and let me explain why. The first one was great because it was fresh, but this time they're bringing us some new things. It wasn't about Hit Girl and her ability to deliver all this, crazy stuff. It was about both characters and their chemistry together and them growing up. I like that Jeff Wadlow and the writers, they explored a completely different aspect of the characters, and that was about this human aspect of the characters. It had more heart and soul. It had more feelings toward it. I mean, in this movie, it had more emotions, and it was definitely a story about them exploring themselves as human beings. And I like that about this movie. It was kind of like how Kick-Ass 2 used Spider-Man for the formula of the story. Kick-Ass 2 used Spider-Man 2 for the formula of their story. And it completely worked. I actually totally loved the way it worked. And it just made me feel that they don't need to live up to what Kick-Ass 1 delivered to the audience. They just need to do something different and give us something completely fresh and just explore explore a different chapter for these characters, and they did just that. Now, with regards to the action is nowhere near as fun and entertaining as the first Kick-Ass movie. I felt that the action was just standard, okay, average. At some point subpar. They included some pretty neat choreography in there, but it was not that fun to watch when you compare it to Kick-Ass 1. But let me tell you something. It wasn't about the visuals. This was not a visually driven movie like Kick-Ass was. It didn't have a whole lot of physical gags that really made me feel like, wow, that was great. It was more about the characters. It was about the characters, the chemistry, the heart and emotion, and you know what? That's the thing that has going for this movie. It was a very character-driven story, and it was a very human story, and that's what I liked about this movie. It was about revenge, but also about doing what's right and just bringing justice to the characters that they want to get revenge to. Anyways, you know what I'm trying to say. One thing about the action that I gotta tell you is that there was this one sequence where Hit Girl was on top of a van, and when I watched the trailer, it looked very fake, and I was hoping that they could clean it up a bit to make it look a little bit more believable. But when I was watching that sequence, I couldn't help but just feel completely distracted by the fact that they were doing it behind a green screen. It didn't look real at all, and it really distracted me from the movie. So that's what I'm trying to say. It wasn't about the action. It was more about the characters and all the supporting characters too. You got Jim Carrey and him playing Colonel Stars and Stripes. You have the rest of the team of Justice Forever, and I love that. I love what they were able to contribute for the movie. It just gave the movie a whole new dynamic, and like I said, Jeff Wadlow wasn't trying to recreate what Matthew Vaughn did. He wasn't trying to make it better. He was trying to do something completely different, and I think he totally had succeeded. So it's a movie that I feel that if you enjoyed the first one, then you should like the second one. You should like Kick-Ass 2. But I'm gonna have to tell you that it's not a movie that I would pay full price for. I watched it on a cheap night on a Tuesday or an afternoon matinee. I actually paid $2 at the cheap theater to watch it, but I felt that it's a decent enough movie to pay like a matinee price, like a standard matinee price. It is a decent film. It definitely is a decent film. It's got a great human story to it, and the action is decent. Not really amazing, but it's decent, and for the most part it was fun to watch. Alright, there you have it. The score that I give it is a 7.25 out of 10. Not quite a 7.5, but a 7.25 out of 10, and it's a decent installment in the franchise. Hopefully it is a franchise that can go on for probably another movie. I'd like to see another movie. I'd like to see Kick-Ass 3. It kind of hints at a Kick-Ass 3, but we'll see how things go. We'll see how the box office take is. Anyways, that's all I gotta say in this movie. By the way, I will be watching At World's End and also Riddick. And by the time I finish watching Riddick, the summer movie season is over. It was a lot of fun, and after that I will be doing my top 10 summer movies of 2013 video. Alright, if you already know what your top 10 summer movies are because you're not going to watch Riddick and At World's End, but let me know in the comment section below or on the Ragin Nation Facebook page, because I'd really like to know what your thoughts are about this summer. Right, every summer we get a whole bunch of blockbusters, so I still got 2 movies to go, and then I'll give you that list. Alright, as always, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation, and also follow me on Twitter at Ragin Nation. My name is Alex Yu. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace. But that in itself is the antagonist. So I felt that what should have been done for Elysium and the way it should have ended